could play TFT maybe. Would you would you guys want to watch me suck at TFT? Do I want to read for 15 minutes? I don't think I know how to read. We made it? Okay, sure. What is it? Is it like some weird fan fiction? You did do a fan fiction! What the frick is this? Okay, hold on. Let me figure out how are we gonna do this. Okay. Jhinxx. X Garrus. Art by Rhyssion, Abojero, Slenard, Seema, Crow, and Salt Kuma. Written by Bibio. Revised by Lakshata. Warning. The following is a piece of art. It is non-fiction and should be taken... Should be... It is non-fiction and should be taken literally. Shouldn't that say and shouldn't? Okay. It should be taken literally. It is based on true events and the characters depicted in this work are 100% accurate. Any similarity to real events are entirely deliberate. Please replicate this at home. I don't want to block the art. Okay, look at the art. Look at it. Look at it. That's art by Slenard. Let's go. Yo, we be drawing the Garrus booty. The Normandy, a legendary ship home to Commander Shepard and his heroes. Unfortunately, stuck on another routine planetary probing expedition. Hundreds of mind-numbingly dull hours can pass by. However, it was the perfect time to run some calibrations, as a certain Turian might say. Garrus would spend these hours in his little corner of the ship calibrating the days away. He didn't have much to do with his life outside of saving the galaxy. What do I do when this is over? Garrus dramatically muttered to himself. Lost in deep brooding. Should I get rid of the chat? Goodbye. Lost in deep brooding, fought like the cool guy that he is. He trusted Shepard with full confidence, knowing that the Reapers would soon be dealt with. Shepard was unstoppable. It was just simply a matter of time and resources. Resources! Oh, right. He remembered as his fingers finished dancing away at his calibrations. Earlier that day, the Normandy had received a few new recruits to bolster the ship for its final few missions against the Reapers. Though they were already aboard the Normandy, their official orientation was due to start in a few moments. There would be plenty of time to calibrate the ship's guns later. With a sigh, he closed his calibrations and headed for the command deck. Garrus is here, Jacob said boringly, as he stood there in an uninteresting fashion. The idiot. Screw Jacob! Screw him! Rotating his entire torso just to aim his attention towards Garrus, instead of just turning his head slightly like a normal person. First day on board and newbies are already late, huh? Garrus said mockingly as he stood beside Jacob with his arms crossed. Yeah, Jacob said, in the most unattractive and mundane manner humanly possible. Commander on deck, a distant crewmate announced aloud as Commander Shepard himself entered the room. Hero of the galaxy and the man who would soon stop the Reapers. He approached Garrus. Shep, Garrus tried to address his trusted friend before being interrupted. Garrus, how do you feel things are going with the team? He asked inquisitively with a raised eyebrow and crooked head. Shepard, everything is fine. You asked me this 5 minutes ago. Nothing's changed. I have nothing new to say. Why do you keep... Before Garrus could even finish, Shepard had already turned around and began awkwardly jogging across the room towards the other team members to ask them the exact same question. And there he is, up by Crow. Let's go! It's so good! It's so funny. He's probably just nervous. I know he means well, Garrus thought to himself as he nonchalantly glanced over to everyone else on deck. They were all socializing with each other. Everyone had someone to talk with, even Jacob somehow. Garrus stood tall and alone in the center of the room as no one really noticed him. No other team members shared his passion for sniper rifles, calibrations, or the color blue. In the back of his mind, he hoped that at least one of the new recruits would have something in common with him. Even if Garrus wasn't the social sort, he began to stare off into empty space and lament whilst maintaining his confident persona on the surface. When suddenly, the hydraulic deck doors burst open with its familiar slide. In an organized fashion, all the new recruits had entered the room one by one. Immediately, the blue one caught his attention. His eyes widened. Her blue hair had a kind of mysterious energy about it. 130 centimeters. I'm 150 centimeters tall. What the frick? With crusty Dr. Pepper stains on her cheek. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. And had thunder thighs that could snap the Normandy in half. Probably from excessive squatting. A human woman had never made him feel this way before. She was perfect. Garrus began to question himself as he stood there in awe of this magnificent being. Each of the new recruits introduced themselves, but Garrus greeted them in kind, being an excellent example and friend to everyone as usual. But all their words fell deaf on him. There was only one that he truly wanted to meet. Finally, it was her turn, and some awesome art. Whoa, let's go, Rhyssion. Hello. Okay, dude. She said Britishly as she extended her arm out for a professional handshake. I'm Jhinxx _ I'm Jhinxx _. He thought it was odd that she had an underscore in her name, but Garrus shook her hand and gazed into her animated red eyes. The contrast was stunning. They reminded him of the cosmos. Welcome to the crew, Garrus said, with a confident, genuine smile. You too, she replied nervously before continuing down the line to greet the rest of the crew. Garrus had hoped they would talk more, but perhaps she was afraid of him. He thought, I should have died 8 or 9 times already by now. I shouldn't ask for any more luck. Garrus muttered to himself as he let out another defeated sigh. He headed back to his quarters to run the few calibrations for the night. He was glad to meet the new recruits. Sadly, though, the moment was over. Aww. Art by Seema. Sad cat Garrus. So sad. Wait! This is me! Jhinxx part 1. Frick. Jhinxx was frustratingly mumbled to herself. Why am I so cringe? She laid back on her bed and stared at the ceiling of her quarters as she began to wail. The whole reason I came here was to romance my husbando, and I can't even talk to him. She leaped off her bed to stare dramatically at herself in the mirror. Ah, dude, I would never look at myself in the mirror. Never. Immediately out of breath after meeting her exercise quota for the day. I have no idea what I'm gonna do today. She ironically said it she had 1,000,000 times before. It's true. It's true. That's non-fiction. That's true. Whoa, what is this? This is sick. But in that moment, a wave of confidence came over her. She was having an epiphany. She had been through so much these last few weeks. Hundreds of hours of effort was put into getting to where she was now. She was strong. She could do anything. She was verified. It wasn't easy scamming her way aboard the Normandy, but she succeeded anyway with pure determination. Look how sick this is. What the frick? Hello? I'm running. Where am I running to? No, I'm wearing not the blue Crocs. All she needed to do was march over to Garrus and let him know why she was here. It was that easy. She walked up to the door of her quarters. Oh, thanks, Soul, by the way. It's sick. It's sick. Slipped into her cyan Crocs and began marching towards his room where she knew for certain Garrus would be running additional calibrations. On her way over, however, no! Frick you, Jacob! Jacob intervened. Hello, he said in the most flat and dull charisma possible. Huh? Jhinxx goofily exclaimed. Jacob, can you please move out of the way? She said, annoyed by his mere presence. Okay, Jacob blurted as he walked into a different room, never to be seen again by anyone. Now she could finally look for her Garrus in peace. After being lost for about 25 minutes, she finally found her way to his quarters. There were labels on the walls, all personnel were given a map, but she chose to ignore this for some reason and complained instead. She stood in front of the doors. She knew he was inside. She can sense and smell him. Sniffer! She thought to herself pensively. Jhinxx could even hear the calibrating noises were made by none other than Garrus himself. She took a deep breath and opened the door. It all came down to this moment. Sniffer? Garrus Vicarian Part 2. Garrus was getting sloppy. His calibrations were off by 0.056%. Unacceptable. But he knew why. His mind was fogged up by the clouds of blue. He needed a break, so he closed his calibrations and leaned back in his seat. Why can't I shake this? He groaned to himself. He contemplated for a few moments before finally deciding to look up her files. Oh, a stalker! He learned about where she came from. The UK. A magical alien land that he had never heard of before. Garrus wasn't too keen on Earth history, but he desperately wanted to learn more about Jhinxx. Oh, it's me. He had found videos of a young man reviewing various chicken establishments whilst using interesting vocabulary. What? He also spent a few hours watching a traditional British entertainment program called Wallace and Gromit, but none of this, however, brought him closer to understanding her. If anything, he was more confused now. What does she like doing then? Reading her personal bio, he learned that she enjoyed video games. His eyes lit up. Garrus was, of course, well known to be a gamer. Perhaps this was something they could bond over. Garrus stood up and made his way to his wall mirror. He inspected himself to make sure he looked clean and began to run lines in his head. How would he start a conversation with her? What do I even say to her? How does this even go usually? He began to panic slightly. Garrus had fought the Geth, Saren, and a whole list of other crazy life-threatening adversaries in his lifetime, but that was nothing compared to talking to a VTuber. In that moment, whilst Garrus was lost in deep thought, the doors to his quarters suddenly slid open. Jhinxx Part 2, that's me! Wait! It's me! It's me! Jhinxx seductively said to Garrus, holding eye contact with him. Garrus was uncharacteristically caught off guard, his cool, suave persona temporarily disarmed by her brazen introduction. Garrus tried to get a word out before she dominantly kicked her Crocs across the room. Her squat training had finally paid off. She then began to approach Garrus, still maintaining eye contact. I came here for you, she said to him blatantly. Garrus began to blush for a moment. He stared into her eyes once more and I saw her honest determination. He liked it. Wow, not bad, he said with a Turian grin. I've played every single Mass Effect game, you know. I always romanced you in every playthrough. Jhinxx blurted, breaking the fourth wall. What? Garrus said, confused. Was this another Earth joke? Jhinxx began to panic slightly. Forget it. Look, the point is, I know all about you. I came here to find you, she told him as she gently laid her hand on his cheek. Do you like video games? Garrus excitedly asked her. Maybe we could bond over that. Bond over? More like bend over. Jhinxx unfunny exclaimed before stabbing. Dab. Garrus was again understandably confused by her actions, but also somewhat fascinated. She pushed him with unexpected force onto the bed. Hello? Whoa! Garrus exhaled, excited and surprised by her strength, despite the croissant and Dr. Pepper based diet. She then intimately stared into his soul and uttered her iconic catchphrase, which she would always say, and especially on stream. I'm about to break it down funky style. What the frick? I've never said that. What? Huh? Is that my new catchphrase? Jhinxx whispered into his ears before she tabbed again. Internally, Garrus was cringing at what had just transpired before him, but he did not want to hurt her feelings. He knew that despite dabbing being outdated, it meant a lot to her personally. It was part of her culture and personality. It's literally my catchphrase. I've never said that. I'm about to break it down funky style? Huh? Yeah! Let's go! That's so sick. But at that moment, Garrus was happy. He didn't mind the cringe or the Dr. Pepper stains. He didn't mind having to wade through a knee-high sea of empty plastic bottles just to grab a snack from the fridge. He didn't mind having to vacuum all the loose strands of blue hair off the floor for the rest of his life. He was glad to find someone who appreciated him more than just as a colleague or a friend. He had found someone special for the first time ever, despite his rich and adventurous life. They then had the nastiest, freakiest super sex you ever saw and lived happily ever after. They had a family of 3 children who I cannot even begin to describe. Like, literally, I cannot fathom it. Canonically, in Mass Effect... This should be a caps, by the way. Canonically, in Mass Effect, how does this even work? A Taurian and a human? Like, what would that even look like? Is that even possible? Never mind, scratch that. Jhinxx hates kids anyways. They had a cat or a frog or something instead. The ship had to be quarantined for 3 months after the mega gross Jhinxx x Garrus event, as it was officially referred to in all the historical documents. But other than that, huge embarrassment, everything was great. And they were happy forever. Love heart. The end. For now. Yo, that was so sick! Oh my god, thank you guys, that was so good! Bibio, the writing was amazing and all the pictures were so good too. You guys killed it. Actually killed it. That was amazing, thank you guys! I love that. That was so funny. I didn't know I had so many memes either. Yes, claps for you guys. Dude, I haven't even finished Mass Effect 2 yet. The literature one, truly amazing. Mwah. Beautifully done. Amazing. 10 out of 10. My community actually did something like super cool. Can you believe it? I'm a literally genius, yes? No, that was actually sick. Can you get to say your famous cat? I have never said this. Where the hell I said this? What was it again? I don't even remember what it was because I've never said it. Like, I'm a busted down funky style? Has anyone ever heard me say this? Apparently that's my catchphrase. I'm about to break it down funky style. Huh? I say it all the time? No, I don't. I'm about to break it down funky style? Loads of times? I say it every stream? You guys gaslighting me? I said it 6 times because I'm reading it. But that was sick. I loved that. That's my, like, new favorite thing in the whole entire world. And thank you guys for the art and Bibio. Who came up with the idea of doing it? So good. I was bored. Well, it was sick. Thank you so much, cheese. I don't know what to do now. But that was really cool. Glad I enjoyed it. I loved it. He gathered you guys? Aww. Bibio's my best simp. If that's a fanfic, wait, does that mean you have fans? Apparently. I should just add the Crocs on my actual design now. Like, screw the boots. Just give me the Crocs. It is now canon that that's my catchphrase. I don't even remember it. I'm a busted down funky style. What did I say? I'm a beat it down funky style. We about to break it down funky style. Oh my god, the mouth tracking is a bit off. Say the famous. No, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks for all that. Yeah, thanks for that fan fiction. It was really good. If anyone wanted to read it again, it's on my art channel to download. If you guys wanna. We're about to break it down funky style. Goodbye, funky style VTuber. I hate you guys so much. The croc wearing funky style. Dr. Pepper drinking. Bye. Goodbye. 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 Bye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. See ya. See ya. See ya. Bye. Wow. So long.